Good day, boxing fans. We have a huge weekend of boxing ahead of us, starting with Friday night in Times Square, New York, where we'll see a triple header, the return of King Ryan Garcia, as well as Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez defending his WBO and Ring World Junior Welterweight Championship. If you want to have a chat about those fights, then stick around. Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney had a heavily hyped outing against each other. The last time I stepped in the ring, Garcia knocked down Haney 3 times and won the decision. He didn't make me wait before the fight and paid the penalties like so often happens these days. And then to add insult to injury, he also popped positive for a forbidden substance. Now his ban is over. That fight has been reversed to a no contest, so Haney keeps his unblemished record, at least on paper. And Ryan Garcia returns against Rolando Rolly Romero. Now, let's start with that fight, because for me, that's the easiest fight. We know what Ryan Garcia is. He's got incredible hand speed. He's got one hellacious, very quick left hook on him. That's the one that did Haney in. And he is coming back now to see how he does without the juice, and let's hope there's no controversy again. Let's hope he makes weight. This is in a welterweight division, so it shouldn't be difficult for him to make. And how is he going to do against Rolly Romero? Now, if I look at Rolly Romero, every time he's faced big punchers or has been under pressure against Gervonta Davis, no shame in that. We know Davis can really punch. And then there was Isaac Pitbull Cruz who got him out of there, and he was also in trouble to an extent against Ismael Barroso. So Rolly Romero has got an aggressive sort of style most of the time, not maybe the toughest chin, and when he's really under a lot of heat, he starts to unravel. So my thinking is it's quite simple. I think Rolly Romero is the right kind of opponent for Ryan Garcia. He's the kind of opponent that will make Ryan Garcia look good. And I'm expecting Garcia to end matters by 7th round TKO. So that's what I think about Ryan Garcia against Rolly Romero. It's a fight that I'm least into on that card. And then we have a very interesting one, Devin Haney, having quite a tough, I think at least a tougher return against a former unified junior welterweight world champion, Jose Carlos Ramirez. Now we know Ramirez in his last fight lost to Arnold Barboza by decision, which we'll get to a little bit later. He's in the main event. But, you know, I think Jose Carlos Ramirez is still a world-class fighter, still a dangerous fighter. And it's a tough fight back for Devin Haney. So I give him credit for coming back against Ramirez. Now, Ramirez is a sort of a very solid, stalking sort of pressure fighter. He's not a swarming guy. He's stalking and he takes you apart bit by bit by bit. But Ramirez has historically struggled against the tall, rangy guys. You know, he battled against Josh Taylor, where he lost in the big unification fight of all the belts. And he battled before that even against the Iceman, Victor Postol. So I just think Devin Haney is the wrong style for Jose Carlos Ramirez to spring the upset. But there's also a question mark. How much damage did Devin Haney take in the Ryan Garcia fight, you know? Besides the 3 knockdowns, he was also wobbled and hurt in other instances in the fight. But on the other hand, if I have to look at it from the other side and reverse it, if I take away those knockdowns by Devin Haney, all the other spaces in between those knockdowns that Garcia scored against Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, all those other spaces in between, Devin Haney looked to me like much a superior boxer than Ryan Garcia, who relied on that one-arm banded left hook of his. But it's a hell of a trick, and it scored all those knockdowns and wobbly moments, which got the fight for Ryan Garcia on the cards. But in the spaces in between, Devin Haney was outboxing him. Now, we know Devin Haney hasn't got an absolute iron chin. You know, I won't say he's chinny, otherwise then it would have happened long ago. But I can even recall instances against, for instance, last round against Jorge Linares, where he was momentarily sort of looked a little wobbly, not hurt, but just sort of buzzed. So Devin Haney always is a guy that you could hurt. You always had that feeling about him. So how much of those lingering effects will be there, or will the boxing skills still be intact, and will he keep Jose Carlos Ramirez at range and use his boxing skills? I'm going with Devin Haney to win a decision there. I think it's as I've said, it's a style that doesn't suit Ramirez. So unless he's got a lot of residual damage physically or psychologically from the Ryan Garcia fight, I think Devin Haney should win this one on points. And then we've got Teofimo Lopez defending his world junior welterweight or super lightweight, if you prefer that name, 140-pound world title against the number one contender, I think, in everybody's book, and that is Arnold Barboza Jr. Now, Barboza Jr., we know in South Africa, he made our own Kodesani Ndongeni retire in the corner, but he's had some, he's been in against some tough fighters. You know, Ramirez is one of them, and then also Jack Catterall, that he went there and he beat in the UK, no less. That's not easy to do, you know. So the fact that in New York, I'm guessing probably the crowd is going to be pro Teofimo Lopez. He's going to have a crowd against him, Arnold Barboza most probably, but that's not going to faze him. Can he beat Teofimo Lopez? Now, Lopez, one of the young guns that sort of came up along with people like Jaron Ennis, Javonta Davis, Virgil Ortiz, and so on. He's had his ups and downs, you know. He had that victory over Vasyl Lomachenko to win the lightweight championship, and then another fantastic victory over Josh Taylor for the junior welterweight world championship. And in between there's been glitches, a big upside loss to George Kambosos. So in order to see what's going to happen with Teofimo Lopez against Arnold Barboza, you actually have to be more of a psychologist than a boxing pundit, I feel, because I think fights are always Teo's fights to lose. If he's having trouble in his camp, if his head is not screwed on straight, if he's underestimating Arnold Barboza at all, he could come unstuck against a guy like Barboza. However, you know, Teofimo Lopez, when he's on his P's and Q's, in my mind, is an elite fighter. And I think he rises to the challenge. Now, if he rose to the challenge against Lomachenko, he rose to the challenge against Josh Taylor. And he needs a challenge in front of him, because his last few fights, it didn't look that great. And is Arnold Barboza a fighter who's going to motivate him? If not, then Barboza, I think, has a chance, a real chance to spring an upset here. If Teo has learned his lessons, then he should beat Brian Barboza, because if you look at Barboza, his wins against the admittedly very high level of opposition that he's had, he doesn't wipe the floor with him, he just gets by, like against Catterall. And so, you know, Teofimo Lopez should beat Brian Barboza, or sorry, I keep calling him Brian, there's a fighter by that name, Arnold Barboza, on points. He should. Unless he takes him lightly, unless he has motivation issues. I'm thinking Teofimo Lopez is smart enough to know he's got a serious threat. He'll be on his P's and Q's, and I think he's going to get by Arnold Barboza Jr. I don't think maybe with a statement victory, but I think Teo's going to get by. I think Teofimo Lopez is going to win this one on points. So that's what I like on Friday night at Times Square on DAZN. I'm going for Ryan Garcia. To me, that's the easiest one. And then Haney and Teofimo Lopez as well. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section. Always like chatting to you guys. And until we see each other again, remember to keep those hands up.